Well, isn't this guy an unexpected star? I got to say, I really didn't think one way or another about this guy, but Ruckus is a good figure. Or Wild Rider? No, he's neither of those guys. No, this is Combiner Wars Deluxe Class Offroad. And welcome back to the channel as always. This is Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot, and I'm going to ask you to check me out across social media. Check out Machinery of Man, check out the Everything Factor, and any works that I have coming down the pike. And we continue the Menosaur series now with this guy, and I wanted to kind of get him out of the way because he's been kind of controversial. He did get recolored as Ruckus. Originally he was supposed to be Ruckus, and it was decided that he didn't quite fit in with the Stunticons. Why, I don't know. Again, I don't really remember Ruckus from the cartoon, and I'm sure he's had a fictional life in the comics, but whatever. A lot of people didn't like that he was a stand-in for Wild Rider. Though he has the red and the gray, a lot of people said, well, he's a pretender to the throne. That being said, I think he really owns this mold. He was the first one to come out with it. I know it was used as Ironhide. I reviewed that. I wasn't a fan of this being used for Ironhide at all. I think that the first aid version of this mold should have been used for Ironhide. And the first aid version is the same thing with really bigger calves to his legs. But looking at this guy, I was surprised when I picked him up. I never had high hopes for him, and I was really surprised. I love the placement of the red. I love the placement of the gray. The little Decepticon symbol up right here looks great. I love the head sculpt. That brilliant, menacing green that's on his face is fantastic. I hate teal. I hate it so much. It's such a useless color, but it looks good on this guy. Why? Because it makes him his own character. I could see how it was repainted. I think it was for BotCon into Ruckus. Yeah, sure. That's a great idea. And I like that it was used again for other characters because it's a fun mold. We have, of course, this hand foot piece again. This time it's purple for Menosaur. There's a foot. When it's folded up, you saw it on his arm. There's a gun, and when you flip out the fingers, well, there you go. You have a hand. Kind of like that. There you go. He comes with another melee weapon. This one's an axe. I'd rather it was a gun. I don't like melee weapons. You know me. I'm not much of a gun guy as it is, but. You know what? Before this guy ever gets a chance to use this, I would shoot him in the face. Paint apps, I'm gonna give a 10. I'm gonna give it 10 because you have the nice silver down here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna give a 9 because I did have one part that I added a little bit to. So I'm going to give him a 9, and I'll explain that part when we get in truck mode. But he has a nice silver grille. He has headlights. He has silver down here. Like I already mentioned, the Decepticon logo. I even like the pattern on his door. I love the green on his face. It just makes him stand out. So yeah, a 9 for paint apps. Posability, playability. Well, his head is on a ball joint and goes around. It looks up. It can look down a little bit more if you break the chest sculpt. His shoulders do have these weird flaps on them that can go, all the way up like that, or you can leave them down. If they're up like this, it does kind of hinder him. If they're down, on mine anyway, his arms can go 360. They can go all the way out. There's a nice elbow bend to 90 degrees, a swivel, no wrist articulation, no waist well, actually there is waist articulation. Look at that. It's kind of a low waist. It's more like pelvis articulation, I guess. His splitsability is about that, and he has a nice 90-degree knee bend. I really like this guy. Big fan. Supposability, playability, a 10. So a 9 for paint apps, posability, playability, a 10. Largely because also in truck mode, he rolls great. He makes a great arm. He makes a great leg. Very sturdy, I find anyway. So we will get into transformation for this guy. I will do arm mode first, then we'll go into truck and finally leg. Arm mode, you just put his legs together like this, you turn him at the waist like this, you flip up his combiner peg, and his arms, you basically can do what you like again, but you basically flip him back like that again. I'm not going to have him as an arm. You certainly can if you are so inclined. And here you go, here's a thumb, and there you go. And again, you know, a nice deep bend. I mean, he makes a great arm if you want him as an arm. It's just I don't want him as an arm. Does he stay together? Yeah, I find he stays together pretty good, to be honest with you. I find it's a pretty sturdy arm, so I'm happy with him. Turning him back into robot super quickly, and that's the nice thing about this guy too. He transforms pretty fast. We're going to put him into truck mode. How do you do that? Well, you put the arms out straight. You put the arms out straight, and you kind of lock the forearm into the door piece, just like that. And you can sort of leave them there at the moment. You come down to his legs, and kind of like with the aerial bots, you split them. Except instead of the back of the leg coming up this time, the front of the leg comes out. And you have a gray armature in here. And again, you're going to collapse the thigh into the calf and shin. And when you do that, this part right here is going to go in behind his back windows right here. So that will go up like that. This will go... Why are you not cooperating here? There you go. You put both of them so that they look like this, collapsed into the leg, and then you just slot them in behind the window of the cab section, and you fold up the bottom of his legs. And his arms, you really just, there's in right here, you just basically push that down. You push his shoulder down and into the body. You take a shoulder and you push it down and into the body, and you bring the cab of the truck down, and boom, there you go. That is off-road and truck mode, just as easy as that. He got a 9 for paint apps because I did add the red back here. That was just left gray, so I gave him a back window. He rolls, like I said, like a champ, and this hand-foot piece, you know, a lot of people have stuck it on, you know, up here like this, or stuck it on the side. You don't need to do that. There's a little slot right here between these fingers, right here where my finger is. And there's a peg kind of there, and you can take the hole that's in the fingers and slot it on over like that. And I think it looks a lot better. You know, it's not perfect weapon storage, but it just looks like something's in the back of his truck. You can take the axe piece and, you know, stick that in one of the 5mm ports on the side, and boom, you're set. You can do the same thing with Trailbreaker. You can do the same thing with Ironhide, but I find that with Ironhide, it's a little fiddly getting this piece on. I find with him, it just pops on and off very easily and nicely. Last but not least, foot mode. You just take the front cab of the truck, you bring it back. Oh, actually, I suppose I should do this correctly. You're going to have to kind of explode the truck a bit. Actually, why? Because you got to bring down the front of the legs so you can fold up your combiner port. Close up the legs again, put the arms back in on the sides, and now you still have this piece of the truck folded back. It was the piece that was down like that. You just fold it back, fold it in, and when you fold it in, it looks like this. That's, I guess, a kneecap. And you take your hand-foot piece, you put the thumb out, and you slot it in the bottom, and you have off-road as a leg. As far as this axe thing goes, again, you can just store it on the side. And he is a great leg, great knee, nothing to hinder it. Truth is, Though I have, Breakneck slash Wild Rider, and I will get to him. I really enjoyed this guy. I had no problem displaying Minosaur with him. I'm just I guess, a slave for the G1. Still, if you have this guy and you do not have the Breakneck Offroad mold, are you missing out? No, definitely not. This guy certainly fits the bill. He looks the part. I love the gunmetal gray on the hood along with the Decepticon symbol. He's a good figure. Overall, though he's gotten a lot of hate, his transformation's a 10, his paint apps are a 9, only because of this, and his posability, playability's a 10. This guy, Offroad, he's a win, folks, and if you don't have him, you should. If for nothing else, as a standalone figure to bolster your Decepticon ranks. He is that good. Anyway, we will move on to the next part of the Minosaur series. For now, I'll leave it right there. I'll say thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time inside the video.